Pomp, pageantry, power. When the British royal family puts on an event, it's hardly a low-key affair. And all this opulence often makes us think of money. Where does it come from? It's all part of an intricate system roughly made up of three sources. The sovereign grant is the most public source of funding and often the most contentious. This grant is a chunk of the profits generated by the Crown Estate, a vast portfolio including majestic properties around the UK, which it leases to people and companies. All estate assets amounted to more than $20 billion, £16.5 billion in 2022. Though named the Crown Estate, these holdings aren't the monarch's or the family's private property. They cannot sell it. Since 1760, these have belonged to the ruler during their time on the throne, but are managed by an independent organisation. All estate profits go to the British government, which then hands back a percentage to the monarch. This is the sovereign grant. It's almost like an allowance or an expense account that must be used by the monarch and their representatives to carry out public duties. Expenses include travel, staff and household costs. In 2017, the allowance was raised from 15% to 25% to cover refurbishment costs at Buckingham Palace, which will remain for 10 years. And if the Crown Estate profits ever drop, the British Treasury tops up the grant, as there's a rule to keep the lump sum level with the previous year. This funding has fueled criticism, with anti-monarchy campaign groups like Republic calling for the grant to be scrapped, stating the country should be entitled to keep all the profits. The group has also called for the Crown Estate to be renamed the National Estate. Efforts by King Charles to sway public opinion have included diverting Crown Estate wind energy revenue straight to the government, so this could be used for the wider public good. Separate from the sovereign grant, you have the duchies. These are private estates belonging to a duke or duchess. The two main ones are the duchies of Lancaster and Cornwall. Both have valuable land and properties which are leased. The Duchy of Lancaster belongs to the monarch, while the Duchy of Cornwall belongs to the monarch's heir. Unlike the sovereign grant, income from the duchies is considered private, but not without its rules. Though the monarch and their heir spend this revenue as they wish, any profits arising from asset sales in the duchies must be reinvested. Then there's other private wealth, usually inherited. This includes some of the late Queen Elizabeth II's favourite properties, like Balmoral Castle and the Sandringham Estate. The family also owns art and jewellery collections, but some of it is national property and can't be liquidated. On top of that, they have their private investments and savings. But what about taxes? Though the monarch and the Prince of Wales have paid tax, this has largely been voluntary. Rules on taxation are intricate and set out in a government memorandum, and in general, the sovereign is not obliged to pay. For example, even though the monarch must pay tax on private sources of income such as investments, it doesn't have to pay tax on income from the Duchy of Lancaster. This is voluntary.